Michigan Out of Doors Magazine's OD is brought to you by Michigan United Conservation Clubs, protecting Michigan's rights to hunt, fish, and trap for 75 years. And by MSU Federal Credit Union, helping members achieve their dreams since 1937.
As you've probably heard, Governor Snyder's recent budget proposal included a hunting and fishing license fee increase. Not only is it just an increase, but it's also a restructuring and overall a simplification. This is something that MUCC thinks makes a lot of sense. We overall support this restructuring where you'd have a base license for the average citizen would be $10, and then you'd add on tags, deer tags, turkey, bears, and so on top of that. So, for example, a combo license right now is $30 for the deer hunter. That would go to $50 because it would be a $10 base license and two $20 deer tags. So that is an overall increase, yes, but overall it's a restructuring where they're going from 227 licenses down to 31 licenses. We definitely support a simplification of this license system. One thing that we do have concerns about and we've want addressed with this license fee increase is an overall improved retail sales system that has the brains behind it to basically to restrict and to permit purchases based on the quotas, based on the management outlined by the DNR and the Natural Resources Commission. So right now there's some flaws in the retail sales system. We want those addressed, and we want it to be an overall smarter and better retail sales system with this license fee increase. The other thing we want to see is continuation of the restricted sub-funds in the game and fish account. So right now a portion of your waterfowl licenses, your turkey licenses, and your deer licenses goes into restricted accounts for specifically those species. We want to see that maintained. We have a tremendous amount of information on our website right now, mucc.org, where you can go and learn more about all the reports, all of these strategic plans, and all of these other issues, what's being proposed on our website. And we actually had the chance to sit down with Director Cray from the Department of Natural Resources. Here he is to tell us a little bit more.
Well, there's a couple things about the new license restructuring system that's out there. One is, of course, the system's pretty complicated, and we have 227 different types of licenses. And if we can simplify it for our users, I think that's a good thing. And so we've collapsed it down to 31. It was in the governor's budget proposal. We're working with the legislature to see if 31 is the right number or not. But it really is, how can we make the investment, how can we make it simpler, and how can we actually allow people to go out and enjoy the resource? Well, we always have somewhat of a fund balance, and it's one thing, as your listeners know, our fees come in a couple different ways. One is, of course, through the sales of licenses. Others are both Dingle, Johnson, Pittman, Robertson type fees. So if we're out and people are worried about guns and gun control and ammunition, we tend to get an influx of money. So we do maintain fund balances. But by and large, what this is really about is the investment and then return on the investment. So the restructuring packet will generate approximately $18 million. We've met with our stakeholders, and according to our strategic plans, our stakeholders have said a couple different things. They'd like to see a few more COs. They'd like to do more habitat work. They'd like to make sure we're paying attention to hatcheries. They'd like to make sure we're paying attention to early successional forests for upland birds. So there's a number of things we can do directly with that increased investment in the department. And so the revenue that we have in place gets you the program you have in place. And the real question to our stakeholders is, what type of program do you want? We'll spend the revenue according to our strategic planning process, which was an open and involved process with our stakeholders. And so, for instance, as I said, our stakeholders said our COs were down about a third since 2002. We need to see more COs in the woods. And that provides both a safe experience and a legal experience. Our stakeholders also said, relative to fisheries, we need to do more creel surveys. We need to pay attention. We need to have waders in the water. So we got, as you know, we were named the #1 fly fishing destination state in the country. We have world-class fisheries. We got to make sure we're paying attention to those. Our stakeholders said, you need to have a more robust partnership with MEDC to promote hunting and fishing to make sure we have long-term legacy programs. This allows us to do that. Allow us to do attraction and retention. Allow us to do education. Allow us to actually have service centers out there so that when you want to check your deer, I don't say I'm open to the public from 8 to 9 Monday mornings. And you know, with EHD and people want wildlife biologists, that's important. It allows us to improve habitat on state land. And so as we bring that resource closer to our stakeholders, we'll need to pay attention to that. Well, the COs really are the law enforcement backbone in rural areas. About every other week, I get a letter from some citizen of this state that says, thank you for a CO, they saved my life. They were there when there was an accident, they helped find my lost child, they helped when the boat capsized. And so really COs are fundamentally, they do more than enforce fish and game laws. They actually are that first responder in rural communities. And I have 3 counties with no COs. That's not acceptable. And so if we can build that backbone across this state, it'll help protect the resource, assure it's there for long term, and also help with that safe experience in the woods. Well, I certainly hope we have a new user interface. I tell staff here, when I bought my license, it took 20 minutes. That's unacceptable. There's 5 people behind me in line. That vendor, that retailer lost sales. So we need to make it, if you can reduce the numbers from 227.31, that speeds the process up, number 1. Number 2 is our backbone was built on 1995 technology. I don't know about your phone, but my phone has changed. And so there ought to be that interactive experience now. So it's real-time data, so we can actually know what licenses you have, then sell you the appropriate license, and then also have that relationship with you as a user as people are wanting to be more informed about the resource. You know, as you go out and you many of your listeners have used My Hunt. You know, if you're out grouse hunting, and I happened to come up to a spot that had great aspen and bear hunters were there, and so I left the woods. I was able to, through mobile technology, find out where the next A3 area was for appropriate aspen age class. Went out and shot grouse. So that interaction between us, the users, and the vendors, that's a great thing. Our computer systems right now are slow. Depending on where you are, it's either dial-up technology or it's internet T1 type high-speed capabilities. We'll be able to upgrade our dealers. There'll be some additional money in that package for them so they can upgrade. And so it really should allow us to interact more fully with them, and then they should be able to interact more fully with our stakeholders. We need to continue to build trust and credibility with the stakeholders, and we do that through strategic planning. We do that through the Natural Resources Commission. We do that through the appropriation process. We do that through our citizens advisory committees. And so it is a transparent process. So what we did this time is we actually put out a document, said this is an outcomes-based document. People don't really care if the habitat's improved. If I improve it, DNR, or you improve it as a stakeholder, as long as we improve the habitat. So the way we fashion this license package is there's a 5-year sunset and review of the fees. And if we're not successful in 5 years, I think that the stakeholders will take us to task and hold us accountable, and they should. The only other thing I'd say to people who hunt and fish across this state, we have world-class assets. We got the largest freshwater fish portfolio in the world. You know, there was the muskie, state record muskie that was just caught out of Lake Bel Air. That was a world record muskie. That was a world record muskie. And so as we continue to enjoy the natural resources in the state, it will be fundamental to us reinventing and making sure we have youth and employment and that we actually build Michigan around natural resources.